All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to How to Master SQL DBA with TK. And as you already know, I'm TK himself. If you are new to this channel, this is our YouTube channel where we post all our videos about SQL. All right. Without talking too much, let me open my notepad and let's look at where we are today. For today, we are going to be creating link servers. Yep, that's a good one. So link servers. I know last time we were able to restore a database using just script. That means the database structure, right? And we did that successfully. So let's look at the overview of the project. That's the short one. It just says create a link server on SQL02, right? And query the data from and query data from database AdventureWorks DW 2022 on SQL01. All right. What does that mean? It means that we are going to create a link server linking those two servers, and we should be able to query data from each service. All right. I know what you're thinking. I know you're like, but we have always on, right? Why can't we just do that through always on? Always on is a high availability solution. So link servers is different, right? We link servers. Remember, we always on, sometimes the replica can be read only. The replica cannot be accessible, right? So link servers simply means that we are linking these two servers, which means SQL01 and SQL02 together, right? It's not a high availability, so that we can quickly query data from one server to another, right? Maybe for some reason this database exists on SQL01, but it does not exist on SQL02, and we are just, I don't know, maybe we are just lazy to restore it on SQL02, or we don't think that is that important, but we need that data on that database, right? So we create a link server so we can just query the data from one server to another. So that's what a link server is. Just as the name entails, link. We are linking two servers together so that you can query the data. And also, as we go inside, I'll show you, like, link server is not just for SQL, right? Link server, you can link an Oracle link server, an Oracle server to a SQL server. You can link to a MySQL server to a SQL server. So you can do a lot with link servers. Okay, I think I've been talking too much, so let's dive into the business. Number one, let's check. Let's go to our Hyper-V. I know I was in my Hyper-V, and let's check. All right, as you can see, all our machines are up and running. So now let's go down here and let's go to SQL01, and let's click on my SQL Server Management Studio. Once I'm in there, I click for it to open up. So I'm waiting for it to open up. All right, it's coming up. So just give it a few minutes, and we are going to be creating a link servers. All right. It's taking a little bit of time, but it's taking longer than expected. I'm being impatient today. So it's like, all right, finally it is here. But remember, they want us to create a link server on SQL02, right? Not 01. But before we do that, let's go on SQL01 and verify something. Let's go SQL01. I changed my connection string, so let me click connect. All right, I'm on SQL01, right? So let me go. So this is the database right here, right? AdventureWorks DW 2022. This is the database that is on this server that they want me to link it without restoring it or without moving the backup. Just link the two servers on SQL02 right here. All right. So now that I know, let me minimize this. And let me connect right here. I'll click connect. Then I'll switch to SQL02 and connect. Let me check on SQL02 if I have the same database there. Go to my databases, Oh, yes, we do. Remember, last time we restored this database, but we restored just the structure. There is no data inside, just the structure. That is fine. What do we need to do? Let's delete the database or drop the database. So remember, if they ask you to drop a database or delete, the same thing, this is how you do it. Right click, you go to task. No, wrong information. Right click, you go all the way down here where it says delete and you click on delete. And remember, if you try to delete it, it does not delete. Sometimes you might need to take it offline, right? But for right now, it works, right? It's good. So we just refresh. And now we don't have that database anymore. Now we want to create our link servers. A couple of things, a couple of steps that I'm going to skip because I assume that I'll explain it and you already understand. For you to create a link server, you are supposed to have a SQL account that you can use to connect to that link server. I remember that on SQL 01, we have that SA account, right? If you remember correctly, the SA account, that is what we are going to be using, right? So even though we are going to create the link server on SQL 02, we are going to use the SA account that exists on SQL 01 to connect to our link server. That is very important. All right, now how do you create a link server? You come here where it says server objects. You see that? I'm showing it on my screen. You can right click. We can right click on that and go to new and go to link server. You see that? Or you can click the plus sign and you go to link server. The same thing, you are still going to create it, and that is using the GUI. If you are so smart, you can always write a script in here and say, there's some strings that you create to create a link server. But some of us that we don't like scripts, let's just use the GUI. So right click on link servers, go to new link server, you click. You wait for it to open up. Once this open up, this is very important. You want to select what link server you are creating, right? Remember, I told you that when it comes to link servers, it can be a SQL link server. You see that right there? SQL or others. If you go to others, right? Let's say at your job, they ask you to create Oracle. If you do a drop down here, you have different types of link servers that you can connect to. All right, I have created an Oracle link server at my job, right? So for right now, you do not see Oracle right here because with Oracle, for you to do a link server, you need to first install what is called an Oracle client. We haven't installed that. We are not going to do it. It takes a lot of process to do that. But I just want to tell you that because at your job, they might ask you to link an Oracle server to a SQL server. So it's just FYI. All right, but let's go back. So let's do our SQL thing. To click on SQL, here is very important. You see where it says link server. What server are you linking to? Remember, we are on SQL 02. We want to link to SQL 01. So we put the exact name, HDC-SQL 01. So you write the name exactly as it is. Now, we go to where it says security. You click on that. And that is where the password I was talking about, right? The SQL password on SQL 01. Remember the essay? You come down here, you click on be made using this right here. Click on the last one right here. Okay, be made using, then the username for that connection is SA. Again, you can create, if you want to use SA, you can create a user on your instance, but just remember it has to be a SQL user that you give it a password. But since we already have SA, let's use SA. We put SA in there, then we use our famous password, which is America, capital letter, America 2025, just like that. Then now let's go to server options and see what it gives us. Okay, these are just the options, right? So the collision compatibility and all that good stuff. So everything looks good. If everything is fine, we click OK. Boom. That is what you want to see. If you don't see a fail message here, if you don't see anything saying that, okay, something is wrong, or let's say the link that was created but the user had some issue, it means that everything went smoothly. Now, remember, we are on SQL 02. If you go down here where it says link server, right? Now you click on your link servers, you see there is SQL 01 under. And if you click on SQL 01, click on catalog, those are all the databases that you have on SQL 01, even though you're on SQL 02. You see, so that is how you create a link server. Very easy, very smooth, and very, very straight. It's not that complicated, especially if you are creating a SQL link server. Just remember, you need to use a SQL account. Then make sure you have the password and the username. Okay, then now let's make sure our link server is working, right? Because once you have a link server, the next thing you want to do is to check to make sure that, hey, my link server is working. How do you check that? You click here, open a query window, and now you can now do a select statement, right? Remember that you are querying this data from SQL 01, right? So you want to query a data right here to just to make sure that, hey, what I'm doing is correct, that everything is going smooth, that there's no issue. So if we write a statement that is going to be select star from, now it's going to be from here. You're going to use the server name, put it in there. Then once you do the server name, you have to do the database name. Select star from dot, just do dot. Oh, now I didn't have to clean that up. So select star from first, you put the server name, then dot, you put now the database name. This is the database name right here. And dot again. Keep doing that. Put the database name and dot, you put a table in there. Let me see which tables we have in there. Let me see which table we can query. Let's query this one right here that says currency. Let's drag it in there. All right, so just like that, right? So it's saying that select star from this instance, which is not here, and the database name is this, that's the DBO, and that is the table. Let's run this and let's see if we have any luck. Execute. Yes, as you can see, we have luck. That is the data right here. You see? So we are able to pull this data from this database right here on SQL 01, right? As you can see from this table, even though we are on SQL 02. So that is the point of a link server. It's saying that we are linking two servers together so that we can, for some reason, pull the data, work on another database or another instance, right? So yeah, so as you can see, it's smooth, it's easy, it's not that complicated. And sometimes, what DBAs do, sometimes they link two servers like this, and they create jobs. They create jobs that will pull data from this server and bring it to this server, and, for example, fill in tables or fill in data on another, right, on another instance. So that is just something that you may have to do. All right, without talking too much, I think this video is smooth and this video is clear. So let's come to the end of it, and I'll see you guys and girls during the next class or video. Video. All right, I'm out. Bye bye.